Hey guys, this is Arsenal Giants PS3 and this is episode 7 of our FIFA 12 Manage Mode commentary. Now, I get a lot of comments saying you're always praising the strikers always get player of the month. Well, I'm praising Granero this episode and I'm going to keep on praising him, and you never know, he might win player of the month. He might do. I doubt it, but you never know. Anyway, tug of war over Hangland. Now Arsenal, Man City and another big club are in for him, so I'm thinking sell him in January and get some cash. That'd be pretty awesome. Anyway, less of them now. So, on to scouting. There are a lot of awesome players. Actually, only about 2 of them are actually worth bringing into the club who have high potential. There's this guy, but sadly I don't have enough cash to actually put them on my wage budget. So, I'm gonna keep them on my scout list and hopefully scout them further. In January I might free up a bit of my budget, but for now I can't actually sign them on. But I do have enough wage budget to add a little bit more on to Danny Murphy's contract, because he does seem to be running out, and also Chris Baird as well. I don't really want these guys leaving for really cheap either in January or for nothing at the start of next summer, so I want to give them new contracts. So our next match is against Liverpool, and I decided to start with Bobby Zamora and Brian Ruiz, as they seem to be the more consistent and a lot more threatening strikers, I feel, compared to Olic. And although Dembele is pretty awesome actually, and he was player of the month last season and came pretty close the season before that, the month rather. So Liverpool started off pretty well. They had a Gerrard free kick, and then Luis Suarez gets down my side and crosses it across to Andy Carroll, who just sticks out a leg, and Swartzer could do nothing about it. Brian Ruiz managed to snatch it off actually, and almost gets a goal there. Hits the top of the bar. Really unlucky after bounced off. And Dirk Kuyt running from the outside, crosses it again to Andy Carroll, who just misses wide with his header. Carroll again then had another chance, which he smashed it, and it hit the post and bounced out. So I was pretty much getting dominated throughout the entire half. I had literally nothing apart from the Brian Ruiz one, which hit the bar. So I started off the second half pretty amazingly. Bobby Zamora passed it in to Brian Ruiz. It was kind of a slight trampy goal, but oh well. Bobby Zamora then played through on goal by Brian Ruiz, and then I took that opportunity pretty well, smashed that in top corner, and then actually 2-1 up at this point, which is pretty ridiculous, as Liverpool were really hard to play against, that I found. But I kept on going over the top and had loads of chances playing that. And then for this like 20-minute period, I was just dominating Liverpool. It kind of changed us around, and then a really brilliant over-the-head ball there, and just Brian Ruiz just couldn't quite header it on target. Really unfortunate. And then Bobby Zamora, don't know what Pepe Reina was doing there, just did nothing about it as it just goes across him. I think he was expecting it to go over, but then I'm 3-1 up, but then it doesn't end there. Steven Gerrard in an Istanbul-like comeback. Well, not really, but anyway. And then Luis Suarez, well, this is Lucas Levia, actually absolutely destroying my player. And then Suarez, in typical Suarez fashion, just manages to nip the goal with a header. So it ended 3-3, kind of disappointing actually, as I had a really chance to win that match and I just sort of threw it away. But this is a youth player that I'm offering a contract to. I don't know who that was actually, I don't know why that clip's in there. But Danny Murphy and both Chris Baird both declined my increased contract offer, which is not a positive sign. But anyway, our next match was against Swansea. I decided to start with Bobby Zamora and Dembele up front. Thought that Brian Ruiz could do with a little bit of a rest, as he's played quite a lot of matches recently. So we started off the match pretty well. Dembele cuts inside and has a shot. The goalkeeper does really well to save that. And then Scott Sinclair dances past my defenders, but a great tackle from Hangland manages to keep him out. But Swansea actually started off pretty well. A little bit of a tramp goal there, but a goal is a goal, and Graham scores against me. And then Swansea dribble around my defence again and grab another goal. And so I'm 2-0 down against Swansea after 3-3 with Liverpool. I'm actually 2-0 down to Swansea, and at half-time, I am still 2-0 down. I mean, the only chance I really created was the Bobby Zamora shot. Then after the half, Dembele, as you saw there, had a shot, just went wide though. And, you know, I don't often praise the opposition team, but that was a pretty awesome goal. It just hits it and it just flies so perfectly. So I decided to sub off Bobby Zamora. He's played quite a few matches. He was running a bit low on stamina. Brought on Olic. He actually almost had a chance to score instantly, but couldn't get it past the goalkeeper. So I sort of panicked a bit. Decided to bring on Brian Ruiz instead of Dembele, and Ruiz had a pretty damn amazing start. Just dribbles it around the defence and then smashes it top corner. I mean, that's a pretty instant impact. I kind of wish I started off with him from the start of the match instead of subbing him on quite late on, but it ended 3-1, and it's a little bit of a shame really. I really should have started with him instead. But anyway, our next match is against Bolton, and this time I decided to start with Brian Ruiz as he's in some great form lately, and also decided to stick with Bobby Zamora because he's also in great form, apart from that match where he didn't score. But anyway, Bolton actually started off the game a lot better than I did. They came pretty close from a shot, and then from this corner I was just again defending like crazy, and Schwartz manages to gather it, and then I have a shot with Brian Ruiz. The goalkeeper manages to save it pretty well, but Brian Ruiz has then another chance, sprints past the defender and just carefully places it past the keeper, and that was a pretty good goal. Just just keeps it simple, plays it past the keeper. You don't have to do anything spectacular from that sort of position. Then Brian Ruiz has another chance, goes one-on-one, shot is well saved by Jussi Jääskeläinen, and then it comes out to Dempsey, who pretty awesomely flicks it over the defender's head, plays it back to Zamora, and then he smashes it into the corner of the goal. Awesome goal there. Bobby Zamora just takes it past him and then smashes it in. But David and Gog, sold from Liverpool, or on loan, I don't really know to be honest, does pretty well there, but Schwartz manages to save it, and then Davies passes it with a pretty powerful one to David and Gog, who just sort of slots it in, and at half time it's 2-1 to me, so I'm pretty happy about that performance. And then Davies just completely makes a mockery of my defence, but Schwartz manages to save it. And then Ruiz is through on goal and he has a chance. Jussi Jääskeläinen manages to save it, but then Ruiz just volleys it in, and then another good shot by Ruiz, and then look at this ball from Granero, just absolutely beautiful ball. Ruiz just hits that on the volley. I mean, that is a beautiful goal. And that celebration, I don't know what happened there. It's ridiculous. Granero just sort of flies around for a bit, but I decided to bring off Brian Ruiz after his hat-trick. Decided to bring on Dembele, and then on the Obadewi, I don't know who he is, manages to get a small consolation for Bolton, and then they even almost managed to score another, hitting the post there, but managed to win the match 4-2. And so our fourth and final match of this episode is at home to Manchester United. Decided to start with Bobby Zamora and Brian Ruiz up front, as Olic has been a bit of a flop actually, really bad transfer on my part there. Wayne Rooney picks it up from about 30 yards out, just hits it, venomous strike, and he hits the bar and get off really lucky there. That could have been an awesome goal. Hernandez has a good chance there, and the Schwarzer makes a good double save to keep Manchester United out. And then Brian Ruiz just runs past William Gallas, who has surprisingly gone to United, but David De Gea managed to save that pretty well, not much troubling him from that angle. Hernandez then just dribbles through my defence. I mean, I haven't quite got the hang of tactical defending yet, but then Brian Ruiz through on goal, and from this situation, it's only really one outcome, just carefully places it with quite a bit of power, and I find myself 1-0 up. Yeah, it's a good finish past David De Gea, and at half time I'm actually 1-0 up, which is awesome. Ashley Young does the Berbatov spin past my defender, just completely destroys him, but his finish is just on the post. I get really lucky in this sort of match. It's really open and I get really lucky. So many chances Hernandez in particular has to score against me, and he just misses all of them, or Schwartz managed to save them. I have a chance sort of in the 70th minute, Brian Ruiz there, but David De Gea managed to save it pretty well. Granero has a good chance there from the header, but just can't get enough power to place it past De Gea. And then Ashley Young also again just getting past my defence so easily. I think that was Rooney actually. But at full time I managed to win actually, which was an awesome result. Really happy with that. So at the end of this episode, but not the end of the month, remember, there's a lot of matches during December, I find myself in 7th. And Brian Ruiz in 16 appearances has scored 13 goals and 7 assists. Dembele 6 goals, 4 assists. Zamora 11 goals, 10 assists, and Olic 3 goals, 3 assists. And now for goal of the month, and it has to go, in my opinion, for this ball. Not only was it a beautiful volley by Brian Ruiz, but the over-the-top ball by Granero was just world class. Now for player of the month. Now I'm going to leave this one up to you guys, so leave your comments as you've been doing before, but it has to either be between, vote for whatever player you like, but in my opinion it has to be between Brian Ruiz and Bobby Zamora. Brian Ruiz scored 6 goals in 4 matches, whereas Bobby Zamora has also put in with some good goals as well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and thank you for watching.